Well, if you ever thought our current era of inflation, that eating out may be cheaper than buying groceries and cooking at home, you might want to think again. And looking at data from recent Consumer Price Index numbers, price of food at home rose 8.5% over the past year, while price of food outside the house rose 8.8%. And bizarrely, it's the first time the cost of eating out has risen faster than the cost of eating at home. But it is not all good news if you are wanting to eat at home. Prices of many of the grocery store staples just continue to see jumps in prices. Look at that. Meat and fish, fruits and vegetables, dairy. I think eggs have come down a lot. They were up a little bit. They've come down. They're all over the place. Who knows, following that big recent avian flu outbreak among hens in the U.S., not roosters, hens. So how will this news impact the decision on whether or not to go out to eat? Joining us now is the Chateau restaurant CEO, Buddy Foy Jr., who owns a number of restaurants. Bolton Landing in New York, I think, was the first. The Chateau in Sarasota, Florida, all these things. How is your inflation, real-world inflation, for you right now, Buddy?
You'd like to say we're getting used to it by now, but the customer's not. I think from the restaurant industry, we expect anything at this point, so we're managing on the fly. But I got to tell you, the inflation part of labor, what's driving our inflation, Brian, is labor and food costs. And we really, we're seeing that impact average consumer spend. The good news is behind me is a full restaurant. The bad news is the average transaction size per person is shrinking. We're being very careful on what we spend our money on.
Well, we had this moment, and listen, if you're down in Florida, you guys never really, we used to sneak down to Florida and say we're going down to eat, during COVID, we couldn't do anything here, and or 3-hour waits in Florida. That said, everybody kind of busted out in New York. I'm sure everybody went out to eat. Are you starting to see sort of that excitement tempered down a little bit when people were literally willing to pay anything?
100%. We're definitely seeing a pullback on, the excitement's over. They can now dine anywhere in the world. They can travel internationally. They can go state to state. So I think people are expanding their trips elsewhere. But that being said, we still have a busy restaurant. The restaurant sold out pretty much every night in Sarasota and on Anna Maria. We opened New York in May. This summer is going to be a real telltale. But I think the worst of it's behind us. Labor management, Brian, and utilizing your resources 100%.
I travel constantly, okay? And I was in New York City on Sunday at brunch. They had one server. Half the restaurant was shut down because they didn't have enough servers to open it up. And I'm thinking, man, they're paying rent on this whole freaking space probably. It's not good. Everywhere I go, there is a labor problem. Can I just ask, Buddy, seriously, where is everybody? Where'd they go?
Brian, I wish I had the answer to that. You are 100% on the mark. What you're experiencing, you're traveling, is what we restaurant operators are experiencing. Chefs are dishwashing. Owners are dishwashing. We're all busting tables. It's all hands on deck for those that are still in the industry. The good news is the ones we have are hard workers. They stuck it out. They're here.
Yeah. And Buddy, we lost your feed, but we do appreciate those that did stick it out. Buddy Foy Jr., the Chateau restaurants, Bolton Landing, Sarasota, other locations. Buddy, we'll talk again. Thank you very much.
Brian, thank you.
All right, you're very welcome.